see that we are what we've both been waiting for. I wanna be a soft place. I wanna be a real place. I wanna be a loving place.
You better sing, girl. You better sing. Just the sweetest, purest voice, and I could feel every single thing that you were singing. What are you thinking about when that sound comes out of your mouth?
I'm in the feeling of the moment of the lyric in the song. I'm in the mood of whatever I'm communicating about, and actually I'm not thinking a thing. I'm just trying to show up.
That is like a life lesson that every artist has to know, should know. A lot of them do know, and a lot of them don't know. It seems that you came into the game knowing that without having to learn that. You have always known that. You have always known who you are as a singer. When I hear you sing, you always allowed that to come through you. You always knew that's how it was supposed to be. The music, the message comes through the sound of your voice. You never try to make anything be any certain kind of way. That is the beauty of your voice.
Well,
I just love it.
Thank you. I think I can't say that I can say that I always have moments of experiencing it, but I can't say I was always conscious and aware of it. Because there were also moments of nervousness and feelings of inadequacy, and just being afraid, really distraction. But then when I got to the I had one good lesson.
Okay.
One really good lesson. I used to not want to, I would do sessions and people say, okay, I want somebody to do some step outs.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Lord.
right? I would cringe inside. I would never want anybody to ask me to do any step outs, no features, no nothing. Because to me, and this is before the consciousness of that awareness came, to me, you had to have a certain kind of power and a certain kind of, to really be an effective step out, quote unquote, And if I couldn't do it like so-and-so, and if it didn't sound like that, or, then I felt like, I don't even need to do this. Call so-and-so, let so-and-so do it. Don't ask me. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And that would go for a lead too, sometimes. I was perfectly happy being in the background.
Wow.
Until one day I heard this inside of me. So are you saying what I've given you is not enough?
All right.
And I just like that pause right there, that silence, I just sat there like, oh, wait a minute. No, that ain't what I meant. That's not what I meant. See, what happened? Right. I said, no. That's not what I mean. Are you saying that what you've been given is not enough? And that one question turned my life around.
Wow.
Because I realized that it ain't about me. It's about what happens when I just show up. It's about what happens through me.
Ooh.
All I need to do is show up.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, hear that and know that and feel that and put that in your spirit and just let that live with you for the rest of your life. That is the most profound lesson of all.
And I've never felt that way again.
Wow.
Never. Because, when I was a little baby, literally, baby, about 3-4 years old, I can remember kneeling at the side of the bathtub praying. Because Mom told me, whatever you want, you ask God. You pray and ask God, and God will give it to you. And I was at the side of the bathtub. Oh, God, please let me sing. Please let me sing. Right? Right? And you forget about those little things when you get growing and your ego comes into play, you know, and then you start getting in your mind what you think you should be, and, you know, through the eyes of whatever and whoever. You forget about that little prayer that you asked for that was granted once you asked.
Absolutely.
You know, and then it comes into being and you lose sight. So I temporarily lost sight, or I viewed through outside eyes.
Interesting.
You know,
Interesting.
And then once I got it consciously, and once I was able to really see, hey, it's been happening. It happens in those moments when you let go. It happens in those moments when you're not afraid. It happens in those moments when you love the song that you're singing. It happens. Now just continue to let it happen. Just continue to get out the way.
Wow.
So yeah, that's
Amazing.
when you ask me what am I thinking, I'm not thinking nothing.
Wow. You learned that lesson quick.
Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. And that in and of itself is Miss Bridgette Bryant.
Hey, y'all. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Oh, my God. I have been knowing you since the beginning
Yep.
of me coming to LA. How awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
this
you.
is such
Thank
a
you.
treat.
Congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you.
Go
I
on,
appreciate
girl,
it.
do that.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Well, right now, I just want this to be all about you. I want you to tell everybody all about you. We just want to feel your presence. But that was such an awesome introduction. That speaks to your spirit, what you just said. And it's all about spirit. And I think spirit and God, that whole, just you being steeped in a level of spirituality has everything to do with you. And that is why you are who you are and how you sound the way you sound. Do you think that is basically the definition of every artist? I mean, they're, you know, especially background singers, when you think about all of us out there on the road and coming in doing our own music, do you think that speaks to who we are? Are we all spiritual beings like that?
Period. We all are. Whether we singing, whatever we doing, I believe we are all spiritual beings.
Yeah.
You know, just trying to figure it out.
Just trying
Figure
to
out what
figure
we
it out.
doing, what we here for, you know. Did I answer you?
You
Is that what
answered
you
me
were?
perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a perfect answer.
But yeah, I think we are. I do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want you to tell everybody who all you've worked with. I met you. You were singing with Stevie Wonder. Who was your first gig?
Well, outside of church, Stevie Wonder was my first gig.
Oh, he was. Okay.
But my very first time I started really like going out and singing, it was with the Reverend Daryl Coley.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, and it was with Fred White.
Yes.
You know Delta Dickerson?
I do not.
Oh, Fred, Delta, Kim, Devereaux Parchman now.
Wow.
Delta Dickerson Clinkscale, I think that's her last name now. Fred and me.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. We were a group called Sincere.
I had no idea that you were in a backup group for Daryl Coley.
Yes. Yes. That's where I really, really kind of got started. I think my first live performance in a big venue was like at the Greek Theater. Daryl had it, honey. Daryl had choreography.
Is an absolutely amazing gospel singer.
Soul.
Absolutely. How did you get that gig?
Let me see. How did that happen? I don't know if it was through Fred's Connect or a extremely talented musician, producer, beautiful person named Patrick Henderson. He was one of the musical directors at our church, Brookings AME. It was the most Baptist AME you'd ever witness in your life.
First AME.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Well, not in its origin, but before First AME became like a Baptist. Yeah.
Exactly. I get it.
It was. I think it might have been through Patrick, and Patrick gave me my first demo.
Wow.
It was for, and I can tell you what it was. It was for Mr. T. You remember I pitied the fool, Mr. T.
I pitied the fool,
yes,
Mr. T.
Tata Vega ended up singing the lead, but he needed a demo for it. You know the song, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, oh, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee, Mr. Lee. So I had to do, that's an old, like, what, 50, 60 song, I don't know. But I had to do, Mr. T, oh, Mr. T, Mr. T. Yeah. So that was my first demo. And Patrick said, you gonna go far in this.
Wow.
So Patrick was friends with Daryl.
Okay.
So I don't know if it was, and so was Fred.
Okay.
So I don't know, I don't remember exactly how it came to be, but it was all in that time.
Got it.
Everybody had something to do with one another at that point.
Got it. So your beginnings were from gospel music.
Oh, I grew up in the church.
Wow.
For sure.
Wow.
Yeah. I grew up singing. My first little solo was in the cherubim choir. I was little.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you were clapping and rocking and doing the whole night.
And by the time I was a teenager, I was in every choir I could be in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I loved music. I always loved music, and I thank my sister Cherie for that. She's a little bit older than me, but she would come home and wake me up. Like, be quiet. I want to play you something. And I would wake up in the middle of the night and be listening to stuff that was so far beyond my years. You know, I'm 10, 11 years old, going to school talking about, you don't know Dexter Wansell?
Oh, she was playing.
Oh, my sister she is no joke. Oh, baby. She played everything. You don't know about the Jones girls? What's wrong with you guys? You don't know the Emotions?
Girls.
What? You know. So.
Did you fashion, because you had that sweetness, did you try to fashion your sound or tone from, say, the Jones Girls or the Emotions, or, you know, that, because that texture is definitely present in your voice.
I could never ever say that they were not an influence, but I can say that I don't think I fashioned myself after them as much as I was attracted to them, because that's naturally what I was.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Got you.
I gravitated toward that, but there were so many people who I loved. I loved Aretha Franklin. Can't sing like her, but I loved her.
No, you do Aretha Franklin some justice, because you know how to do your version of Aretha Franklin, which is the beauty. You just know, how you can do anything, and you just do it your way.
My way.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So check it out. You were born and raised here in LA?
I was.
Do you think that was an advantage, being in the music business? The music business is here in LA? Because most of us came from somewhere else.
No. Because I didn't get to it any quicker than anybody else did.
Really?
Regardless of where I came from, you know. I don't think so. It just saved me the trip from somewhere else to LA, you know.
Have you ever lived anywhere else?
No.
Wow.
I've always lived, in California.
In California.
Yeah.
You never moved to New York? I said, what's happening in Nashville or Atlanta, like some musicians?
I came
do.
close to moving to Florida, but no.
Oh, okay. I heard that. Did you study undergrad, or what was your
Very little,
training?
girl. Very little at a city college. I studied very little music. And then I got a job with Stevie Wonder, and I never went back.
Now, how did that happen?
Well, the very first offer I had, when I got out of high school, Stevie had a place out here, like a publishing house called Writers Quarters West.
Oh.
And it was made up kind of like a West Coast Motown. But it was called Writers Quarters West. And everybody in there would be writing and singing and doing their own little productions. And I was only there because I wanted to meet Stevie Wonder, right? Who never came down to the studio. But his ex-road manager, was like the manager of Writers Quarters West. And I befriended him. He befriended me.
Okay.
And I said, listen, I just want to meet Stevie. That's when you're going to take me to meet Stevie. I will. So I'm down there and I'm writing and I'm doing, stuff. Until one day, finally, I asked him, look, when you going to take me to meet Stevie? He said, today. Girl, I looked my worst. I had been up for 24 hours. I know my hair was all over my head. It was terrible. But I was like, ain't no going back now.
No.
So I went down there and I sang, in inseparable, right? And he said, wow, you want to go on the road? And I said, yes, I do. And I was about 19.
Wow.
But something happened with the paperwork. I couldn't get it. I didn't go that time. Mm-hmm. But just that next year or later on that year, I became friends. I was introduced from Fred, by Fred White, to Lynn Fitmont.
Uh-huh.
And I think at that time, it was Tigger and Fred, I think. They were singing background for Lynn.
Oh, yes.
And Tigger left. Something happened. One of them left. I think it was Tigger that had to leave. Mm-hmm. And she needed somebody right away. And Fred said, Bridgette can do it. I want you to meet Bridgette. And I remember we sat down on the floor of her Silver Lake apartment and started singing together. And it was like, it just clicked. You know, we were like, wow, you sound like me. Yeah, you sound like me. You know, we meshed and melded together. It was awesome. Wow. And then she was also on the road. I think she was working with Bill Withers at the time and had gotten the gig with Stevie. Mm-hmm. Later that year, she said, Stevie's holding auditions. You want to come? I said, yes. And that time I got it and left.
Wow.
That's how I got it.
Amazing. Yeah. And how many years were you with them? For a while, right?
Oh, yeah, for a long time. Stevie was my master's and doctorate education.
You know?
Honey,
no, that's funny because that was the next question I was going to ask because you've done Stevie Wonder. Okay, we know Daryl Cole. He was the beginning. Who else have you toured with?
Phil Collins. Mm-hmm. Recorded more than toured with various people. Now I'm back with Phil Collins. Mm-hmm. I did work with Gary Taylor. I do work with Jeffrey Osborne, which I love.
He's awesome.
I get to get my keep my feet in R&B. Mm-hmm. Get the best of both worlds. There aren't many legacies anymore, R&B legends.
Yes.
That are out and about. I mean, like the for real ones.
Right.
That are out and really sounding great anymore and really doing what made us love music in the first doggone place. And I am really honored to be able to still look at Jeffrey Osborne. He's in fabulous shape.
Yeah.
And I don't just mean physically, but I mean vocally. Mm-hmm. That man he's still incredible. And I get a chance every time I work with him to just go in and just, you know, when he gets to your silhouette of splendor,
yes.
Concentrate on you. And honey, it takes me back to when I was a kid, you know, and just sitting there looking at or listening to that music and saying, oh, I love this, I love this, I love this. And I was telling my husband the other night, I've been so blessed because everybody that I've ever wanted, that I've ever really, really loved, I've worked with. Barbra Streisand.
I was about to say you worked with Barbra Streisand as well. How was that?
Phenomenal.
Because she's a one of a kind.
It was phenomenal.
Yes.
It was really, that's in a word to sum it up. It was phenomenal. Yeah.
And of all of those people, I mean, those are some amazing, iconic names you just pulled off here. Which one was the most impactful on you as an artist, as a solo artist?
I think everybody had a piece, but if anything, you know what I'm going to say, Stevie? Mm-hmm. Because he would never let us say no. Never. If he wanted us to do a solo, it was never a no. If he wanted us, I remember one of the biggest, the most frightening things he had me do one time was have a competition with him. To get the audience to participate. Okay, come on, you gonna come out here. Come out here. Me and you.
That was improvisational.
All of it. And sometimes he would have us, you know, like, I don't want to say pit us against one another, but yeah, is what it was. We didn't like it. But we could never say no. We could never say no. And what I took from that experience, which I do believe, yes, prepared me for everything that I've done thereafter, is it doesn't matter if you're afraid, you can still reach inside and do it. Be afraid, but don't be defeated. And that's what we had to do every night.
Wow.
We could be afraid. Go ahead, be afraid. But you're still going to step up to the mic, and you're still going to do what I asked you to do. So I've taken that with me in everywhere and in every aspect I can say of my life. I might be afraid, but I'm going to go and do it.
I heard that. Another life lesson. Listen to these gems, people. And she's answering the questions before I can ask them, because I literally was going to say, every experience we have, sometimes they're good, great, sometimes they're horrific, or they're really bad. But regardless, they are what molds us and makes us who
It's
we
what
are,
we need at the time.
which is beautiful. So, and I was like, it makes us, it creates those winning qualities in our artistry. And I was going to ask you to share, and you just shared it right before I could ask.
Sorry.
That's all right. Now, you mentioned about, your husband, because now you're married. I know you have how many children?
Now I have 6.
Jesus on the cross. What? It's like the Brady Bunch.
Kind of. But okay, so when I see what had happened was with my children's father, who are Lynn's nephews. Lynn my nephew, by the way, right? When I married my children's father, Keith, who's a fabulous musician, he's still my favorite sax player. I got a bonus baby. He already had one son named James, and I always include James.
Absolutely.
And then we had 3 together. And now with my husband, he has twin girls. We have now twin girls.
Twins.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're still on Rosie, but that's relatively recent because you just got married a second time. How long has it been?
October. Since October. October 27th last year.
Last year. 27. Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's my daughter's birthday. Amazing. So it's been almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, because what I want to talk about is what it's like to be a tour session singer and be on the road and have kids, be a parent and do that. How did you traverse those waters? It was an interesting place for me as a single parent. I know you were married with kids. You had maybe some support, or just if you can just talk about that, what that's like.
Okay. Well, the very first time actually I came off the road, I left Stevie. I went from Stevie to Phil Collins. I was having the time of my life. And then we finished that tour, the Sirius tour. And in between that tour and the tour to follow, I got pregnant. And had the baby. And they called me back and said, want to go on tour? And I said, yes, of course I want to go back on the road. And he said, okay. And I said, well, I want to bring my baby. And they told me, no. I said, I can pay for my own nanny. I'm not asking you for that. But, they thought that it might be like a conflict of interest. So they wanted me back. They said, come on and go, but leave your baby at home. And that was not anything I was going to do. So I stopped, and I came off the road like that.
How long were you off the road?
Shit, how old are they now? Let's see. I never went back like that.
Okay.
Because then we'd be gone for like 6-7 months at a time.
Yes.
9 months at a time. I never went back like that again. And now, the very oldest is Joseph. He's 26. He just turned 26. The first one I had.
Incredible. 26.
So now that they're all grown and everything, I'm back out. But I still, I don't really like to go that much. I don't leave for. First of all, there aren't that many people touring like that.
And they don't tour for that length of time
that
anymore.
Everybody that was touring like that, then I don't want to say they old, but they old.
Or retirement.
They're not
retirement
trying
tours right
to
now.
go out like that. Everybody's trying to do it with a different approach. A different quality to it.
Right, right.
So we'll go out for a month and then come home. But how I did it then, I did not go out like that. It was very important for me to be at home with my children. After I had Joseph, then I had Jesse, then I had Jim. I kept on going. But I would go out sometimes if it was like a couple of weeks or, a day or so. I concentrated mainly on session work at that time.
I was about to ask you.
Session work.
Got into
but
session
my
work.
mama, if it had not been for my mother there with me, if I had to go to work, my mother was, all right, come on, get me. Or she'd drive over to me. And I would go on and do what I needed to do. And they'd all be in the bed with my mama when I came home.
Wow.
Laying up underneath her like she was sitting on my nest for me. So my mother was a huge, huge, huge help.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You always had that support.
Mama, I could not have done it.
Wow.
As effectively, really.
That's awesome.
It is.
Is your mother a singer? Was she an artist?
Yes. My mother has a
I didn't
golden
know
voice.
that.
My mother wrote one of the world's most famous songs at a time when black people were signing over, their songs for a Cadillac. She collaborated with a gentleman who, behind her back, sold their song to a very well-known. I'm singing to you. You made me leave my happy home. You took my love.
Really?
Now, yes, ma'am. She was 15 years old, standing at her mama's kitchen sink washing dishes.
She wrote that?
Since I fell
for you. That huge song.
Huge ass song. And, they didn't know anything about nothing back then. They didn't know how to fight. My mother didn't know anything. They didn't know anything, so she lost that one. And whoever he is, Johnny somebody, claimed the credit or was given the credit by the person that she wrote it with. And
wow.
So in answer to your question, my mother is extremely talented and could really sing.
Wow.
Yes.
Because how amazing that was to be raised by an artist, versus being raised by a non-artist, which was my upbringing. So, you always had someone in your corner because you started when you were, she wasn't, it doesn't sound as if she were suggesting you do something else.
No, because I tell you what, see, my folks are Southern. My mother's side of the family is from Texas. My father's side is from Mississippi. So my mother grew up in a really strict home. And at that time, when she was coming along, she was so pretty. They were afraid that she was going to, if she had gone out into the world and sang like she could and become a star like she really should have and could have been, they thought she'd end up like Billie Holiday or... Okay. So they shielded her from that. They never allowed it. They said, you're going to sing, you sing in the church. So they kind of squelched that.
Okay.
And I think that's one of my mother's biggest heartaches.
So she didn't squelch that.
She didn't push it, but she didn't squelch it. She did not.
Thank God for that.
Thank you. Thank
God for that.
Thank you.
So tell me, you got some projects coming up. We love the song we just heard earlier. What are you doing with yourself as a solo artist at this point? Well,
the song that you heard initially was from my first solo project called Soulmate Collection. And that was the very first release called Soft Place. But what I'm doing now is an album of duets. I just dated myself, didn't I? That's right. Album. An EP of duets with, this man, Will Wheaton.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Will Wheaton.
Big Will.
Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
So we actually released this song, I want to say last year. It's called How Do You? Wow. And and it made some noise. It really did. Went to #1 in the UK on the UK Soul Charts. Yeah. Number one here. Also, we were really blessed with it, but we didn't follow up with. We didn't finish the rest of the project.
Okay.
So we are in the process of finishing our duets CD, and as it progresses, actually, we're thinking that, and that's the beauty of being an independent artist. You can make it look like you want it to look. So at first we said it's going to be all duets, but then we said no. You're going to do some lead. I'm going to do your background. I'm going to do some lead. You're going to do my background. So it's a collaborative effort, and that's what we're working on now. I wish that I could play you the latest thing. I gave you the single that we released last year.
Oh yes, well, hopefully you can play it.
Yeah, but the one that's coming out next, we're really excited about as well.
Oh, great!
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well, I just want to end this first by saying thank you so much for your time and your blessing and your beautiful gift of a voice and those gems of profound words and information you gave. I hope everyone heard that. It was just, it touched my heart.
Thank you.
Now, I do want to say, when I wrote this book, Memoirs of a Backup Diva, I'm a singer. We're a singer. And I know that's what I was put on this planet to do. You believe and you know that that's what you were put on this planet to do. Mm-hmm. But through the journey of writing, I learned that there were other things that I was supposed. I had another purpose. There's a higher purpose, and I think that all beings on this planet have more than one purpose. We see ourselves maybe one-dimensionally as we are, young, and then as we grow up, sometimes we find ourselves having to learn how to do other things for, multiple streams of income. Then we realize that we're pretty well versed in several things. I like to hear what were the other purposes that you believe that were in your life? What purposes? What are your other vocations? What you believe you were put here for? In addition to being a great singer and songwriter, I might add.
Thank you.
Because you wrote those songs too.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. I believe I'm a healer. I believe God put healing inside of me. I believe that, I'm a certified masseuse.
I did not know that. When did you do that?
Years ago.
Oh wow!
I am, and I'm also I'm a real good team player. I love to help other people succeed as well. I love to counsel. But I'll speak on that team player thing. We do the Indie Lounge West.
I was about to say, in the perfect position.
The Indie Lounge West is a platform for independent artists. Will Wheaton again, and I do that. I love that. That's my heart. That is my heart. I love to show people the beauty of music that still exists. I believe that music changes the hearts of people, and in that will change the world. I believe when we have beautiful music again, we have beautiful hearts that feel good, and then a beautiful world again. I believe in music like that, and I want to help in that way. And I do, and I'm a healer in that way as well.
There's that word healing, and just like it comes up it seems that it comes up every time. When I spoke with Lynn Fidmont, she said the exact same thing. So that is the word. That is what this program is all about.
Healing.
Being the healing. Be the healing. Be the healing.
Yeah.
And you recognize that. I'm going to stop there because that just put everything all into perspective. Just like that. Thank you, Bridgette.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
You. Thank you.
Enjoy the music.
Tell me how do you do that thing that you do? Can you tell